Louisville is a vibrant, diverse, and evolving city. And as the population grows, so does the need for more housing. That's why the Metropolitan Housing Coalition is advocating for change. MHC is a coalition of nearly 300 members who engage in research-based advocacy for fair, accessible, and affordable housing. Through research, education, and collaboration, we work to ensure everyone has a place to call home. In March 2022, MHC launched Attainable Housing for All, or simply AHA. This new initiative focuses on housing opportunity and housing choice. We're challenging people to rethink what affordable housing means. We believe attainable housing is more representative of what it means to have accessible and realistic housing options. Attainable housing is fair, accessible, and affordable. To better understand attainable housing, let's take a closer look at some terms we think you should know. As we analyze Louisville's need for more attainable housing, a good starting point is knowing the Area Median Income, or AMI. When we talk about AMI in relation to low-income households, we are talking about three categories: low income, or 80% AMI, very low income, or 50% AMI, and extremely low income, or 30% AMI. A family of four who is considered extremely low income has an area median income of about $27,000. To meet the needs of the extremely low-income AMI category, MHC estimates Louisville needs more than 31,000 attainable housing units built. One way to tackle this is thinking through density. Density is the number of residencies per acre of land. Greater density is achieved by decreasing minimum lot size, which allows us to rethink how we build and what we build in the future. Building more attainable housing in Louisville will bring positive change to families who are cost-burdened. These are families who spend more than 30% of their income on housing. MHC envisions a future where housing costs do not force families to choose between a roof over their head and medical care, food, transportation, and other necessities. It's estimated that 38% of households in Louisville are renters, and the average rent is about $1,100. Rent control, or rent gouging protections, protects low-income families and maintains housing affordability through set price controls that limit the amount a landlord can demand for leasing a home or renewing a lease. Another way of protecting Louisville's low-income families is affordability requirements. These requirements involve developers relying on financial assistance from several funders and programs, such as the Low-Income Housing Tax Credit Program. The new housing units created will be subject to affordability restrictions for a certain period of time, in many cases 15 or 30 years. Another tool created by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development is fair market rent. This determines how much housing assistance programs can chip in to help low-income households pay rent. Fair market rent is the 40% mark of all the rents in a given area. This includes shelter, rent, and utilities, but does not include telephone, cable, satellite, television, or internet. In order to build more diverse housing types, Louisville's Land Development Code must change. Land Development Code determines what can be built, where it can be built, and ultimately where you can live. Right now, nearly 75% of land in Jefferson County is zoned only for single-family residential housing. Our communities need more options. Have you ever heard of the phrase, "not in my backyard"? We call this NIMBYism. This phrase is often a reaction from homeowners who think attainable housing should not be built in their neighborhood. Our goal is to show everyone that attainable housing options belong in all neighborhoods. Examples of attainable housing include duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes, courtyard buildings, and townhomes. You may not notice it, but many of these examples already exist and can be seen in Old Louisville and the Highlands. However, the current Land Development Code prevents new options from being built. One way to motivate builders to create more attainable housing units is through inclusionary zoning. This type of zoning would require attainable housing units to be included in new developments of a specific size. Inclusionary zoning is an important component of a housing policy framework because it promotes building attainable housing across all communities. As developers look to build new homes for low-income families, another way to do so is through a community land trust. A community land trust supports attainable housing by purchasing land on which developers can build affordable homes, allowing families to build equity through homeownership. Louisville is in the process of creating a community land trust in the Russell and Smoketown neighborhoods. Together, we can achieve attainable housing for all, but it starts with you. Share this information with your friends and family to create aha moments that will spur more people into action.